Okay, number 2, from the Wizard of Oz in Australia, and all the Aussie freaks. We have got a bottle of Red Breast single pot still. Boss. So this is for you. No, I was told to give this to you. Not really. I said to give it to y'all. So
single pot still.
And that's it. Enjoy Rabbit Hole Recap.
Is it? Oh, it's Irish.
Our mic's on? Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Testing.
Mike 1, 2. Can you hear me? Seriously. Okay. What is it, freaks? We've got a delayed Rabbit Hole Recap recording on Saturday. Uh-oh. Is this better? There we go. No breaking modes, y'all. All right. So what's up, freaks? Thank you for joining us. Gary just came up here and said thank you to everybody, but I think we should turn and say thank you to Gary for getting everybody together. Great. Always one of our favorite events. This is our second live shutdown of BitBlockBoom. We're very excited to be here, very happy to be here. I personally have to thank a couple other people. I got to shout out Will Cole for letting me borrow his pants last night. Thank you. Got to give a shout out to my buddy Aaron Glenn for letting me borrow his shirt tonight. So I did not bring a full wardrobe.
Do you own luggage?
No, I don't.
No clothes.
Low time preference. I try to borrow clothes from anyone in any city.
Go through the airport in a natural way.
So if you freaks gonna tell, we're joined by Justin Moon tonight. Matt Odell to my right as usual. And so obviously we do Rabbit Hole Recap every week. We have a schedule. Matt and I shoot the shit. We've done these live show quite a few times. Our first one was hosted by Iterative Capital. I know Chris is in the crowd. So Chris was the impetus for the first one. I think this is our 5th.
At least 4th.
At least 4th. And when we do the live show, we do it a little differently. We have 3 topics in mind that we'll talk about, but then we like to get interactive with the crowd. So if you guys have any topics that you feel are pertinent that we should discuss on stage, we'll do that. And it's a collaborative effort here during the live show. But to start, as always, we got to start at Clark Moody's dashboard. Really disappointed he's not here tonight. The cost of Bitcoin right now is $11,522. We are currently at block height 645,933. 1 Bitcoin is worth 5.9 ounces of gold. That's 1.69% of that total market cap, and you can buy 267 barrels of oil. Mike, we're going to need to scroll to there. Thank you. We had a difficulty adjustment this week. I believe the difficulty is at all-time high. 17.6 trillion or billion? Trillion, I think. Hash rate over the last 2016 blocks is 122.5 exahash a second. The last increase, which was earlier this week, was 3.6%. And we're estimated right now to have a downward difficulty adjustment of about 1%, but we're a little bit below halfway through, so that is due to change. Let's swipe further to the Samurai Sats, and Matt will jump into this. Whirlpool capacity.
1,457 Bitcoin. That's a decent amount of Bitcoin.
It's a decent amount of Bitcoin. It's a good segue.
I haven't checked, but I think it's an all-time high Whirlpool volume this month.
It sounds like it would be.
It was on to the trajectory, but I wasn't.
Speaking of Whirlpool, what the hell was going on this week, man? The Flame Wars.
You're just going to jump right into it?
Yeah, right into it.
I've been trying to avoid this Twitter drama. I told Marty I didn't want to talk about it, so he
put him on the spot.
He did.
He put me right on the spot. I mean, I guess most of it has come from.
So let's preface this. What is this week's?
Do you want me to give a synopsis of drama?
Yes,
Am I doing a drama
it's not drama.
synopsis?
Like, what's going on? Are there valid points to be made?
First, Samurai did a disclosure of Wasabi Wallet. They said there was a vulnerability of Wasabi Wallet. They did like a kind of questionable responsible disclosure. They said, we'll give you 15 days to fix it. We show you how to fix it. But if you don't within 48 hours tell people not to use the CoinJoin feature of your wallet, then we will release it. Nopara, the lead dev of Wasabi, said that the disclosure was silly. So then he just released the full pastebin. He released a full disclosure on pastebin that they had sent to him before they could even release it.
It's just silly.
So Wasabi says it's not an issue, and the idea of the vulnerability. My understanding of it, I've been kind of distracted this week because of this fantastic conference with all of you people. Is that if an actor knows the state of your wallet, they can make it so on Wasabi, when you do coin join rounds, you can do multiple rounds. And I've said on this podcast many times, you want to do remixes because it's multiplicative. Your anonymity set, this crowd that you hide in, increases substantially every time you do another round. If they know the state of your wallet, though, they can.
It's very hard. It's very hard to know the state.
No, wait. So this is the key. So they can remove the advantage of the remixes. So your anonymity set is just your most recent round. And if you've ever used Wasabi, the main way a lot of people use Wasabi is they send a single KYC UTXO in that then gets split up deterministically and then goes through the number of coin join rounds that you do. So for a lot of Wasabi users, and the way the actual setup is the default UX flow, chain analysis and regulated companies do know the state of your wallet for all intents and purposes. So it is to me it seems like it's an issue, but
Justin, what are your thoughts on this? Do you engage in the flame wars?
I think I'm in the more of the mainstream on this topic. Every piece of drama gets more and more exhausting and makes me less eager to use any mixing software.
Just very tiresome.
Less trusting of the apparatus.
I can definitely see that point. It is very tiresome. You don't know. One day you have privacy, the next day you don't.
It gets to the point of how difficult it is to do proper privacy properly on Bitcoin. Both teams are very competent, well-intentioned. There are problems. It's just really hard to do it correctly, I think.
Well, that's definitely the most frustrating thing for me because I was a very outspoken Wasabi shill.
Wasabi Wednesdays.
And then I was very critical of them, and they seemed like they didn't want to improve their implementation. And I've been a very outspoken Whirlpool shill. I've been outspoken Joy Market shill. I'm trying for people to care about privacy. Two things here is both teams. I've met both teams, and they might have me fooled, but I'm pretty sure neither are spooks. And they both on Twitter they both call each other spooks, which is super frustrating.
Yeah.
The second thing is Wasabi, although they claim the implementation isn't broken, they are planning on releasing a completely new implementation that they just announced this week.
This is 2.0? Wasabi 2.0?
Wasabi 2.0. It's going to bring proof of stake to Wasabi. And you're going to be able to yield farm. Yeah, so I wish there was more focus on the actual products rather than the personalities, because this is open source software, so you can critique the code, you can critique the actual implementations. All the personal attacks and stuff are way less effective, and they just, as Justin said, they just scare users off because it's already a complicated thing. When most podcasters in the space don't know what an XPub is, it's hard to try and help people use CoinJoin.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have an expert here. Britt Kelly explained XPubs in about 4 words.
Yeah, you dump it in, you get multiple addresses, no reuse.
Yeah.
While we're on that point, we got to give a shout out to Michael Hawaii from the McAllen 12 tonight. Looks like 5 Drink Matt. Maybe on his way out. Am I popping my piece?
Let me hop in here on this topic. I think.
But I'm just going to make it look even.
There we go.
This thing's very stressful, this thing. It's like if you breathe wrong, you hear it, and it's like you're holding your breath up here. One thing I'd like to see more Bitcoin companies do is kind of like promote the the like industry, the like little sub industry they're in, right? So like I think all of the hardware wallets would be good if they sort of like promoted the use of hardware wallets and got people to trust them. The multi-sig vendors promoted the idea of multi-sig and just grew that pie. Likewise, if the privacy wallets could be a little less hostile, I think they could increase the trust in those products and make them more widespread. Because right now, I mean, it's impressive numbers, but it's not a lot of Bitcoin relative to how many there are. And I think that they could grow the pie a lot.
Well, I guess that gets into the balance, right? Like how much you want them to take a phrase from Lop, who may be a persona non grata this week. Like how much co-opetition do you want? Like how like valuable is finding these possible bugs and discovering them? How much does that make the software better in the long run?
I mean, it seems like best practices in Bitcoin are not widespread yet. And so I think in a lot of these areas, there's a lot of room for, multi-sig privacy in particular to become more widely used.
But where you see the most toxicity is where the most is at stake.
Yeah.
So with privacy, there's a shit ton at stake. All it takes is one mistake and you've completely screwed yourself. You could get sent to jail, you could lose your life, you can have, stakes are high. With hardware wallets, stakes are also super high. And
lose your net worth.
That is an extremely toxic, hostile environment that we have going on in the hardware wallet space as well. And then on top of that is the whole shitcoins, right? And in that situation, the stakes are high in that you could just lose all your money.
Well,
right?
This is sort of an open source thing too. It's like, in most industries you don't see how the sausage is made, and it's often filthy and disgusting. Yeah. And in Bitcoin, fortunately and unfortunately, you see how the sausage is made, and in some of these cases, it's a little chaotic.
Yeah. When sausage, Matt?
Didn't you eat sausage for lunch today? Good man.
6 hours ago. Yeah. So the flame wars go on. Will they ever stop? Probably not.
Never.
Never.
It's kind of beautiful.
I'm in the camp that makes everything better in the long run, but there is that balance, like. Does your immune system get so strong that you have a cytoclimatic?
We don't want you trying to pronounce things up here after a drink or two, Marty. You have trouble with like 3-letter acronyms. Let's not get into science.
Basically, you don't want your immune system so strong that it attacks you.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah. We'll see. We'll keep documenting the flame wars. They're sure to keep going on. Speaking of flame wars, alluded to it a little bit in that previous segment. INX. I frankly, just going to preface this, I don't give a shit. People want us to talk about it. It seems pretty stupid. I don't know why you need to tokenize equity. Equity seems to work pretty well.
Shit corner.
Yeah, I mean, there's some hypocrisy in here with the dependence.
You don't care?
I mean,
you don't think it's like a slap in the face a little bit when we're trying to do it more ethically and they...
You can't control other people, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a couple of things here. Some people don't like that it's on ETH. So INX, what is INX? INX is a security token exchange launched by a bunch of Bitcoiners that hasn't even launched yet, doesn't exist. And this is their exchange token, INX. And there was a lot of controversy on Twitter because they kind of all tweeted it out in unison because the pre-sale launched or the sale launched. They were in the pre-sale, and now, or they got advisor tokens, and now the actual sale is launching. So there's like a couple reasons people are mad, right? It's the ETH thing. Samson specifically has been super against ETH, and now, he's involved with a token that is on ETH and uses ETH for gas fees. His own project, BlockBoom's project Liquid, is supposed to try and put tokens on a Bitcoin-denominated chain. And then I think, why I don't like it is because I don't like exchange tokens. I think exchange tokens have a ton of risk, regulatory, custodial risk, trusted third-party risk just in general.
They're utility tokens. They don't make any sense.
Yeah, and like the way the prospectus is set up, like it's based on cash flow, so you don't really know for sure if they how they structure it, right? They can operate at a loss, and then you don't get anything. So the ETH stuff for me is just like they're hypocritical. You know, it's just very hypocritical. I am more angry. Angry is the wrong word, but I'm more disappointed in just shilling exchange tokens to retail for an exchange that hasn't even fucking launched yet. That's what pisses me off the most. But for better or worse, like, people shouldn't be surprised. Like, that group of people is like, this is known.
Yes. I mean, that's all I have to say about that. I mean,
you didn't really say much
about it. I don't have much to say.
You didn't really have a strong opinion on it, Marty.
It's really uninteresting to me, honestly.
When token?
Never. Sats are my safe haven.
I'll keep Marty honest.
Next thing I wanted to talk about particularly.
What is Justin's opinion on it?
Oh, damn it! I almost got out of that. I was real quiet.
What do you think?
I mean, I think there's one thing that Matt didn't mention is that when you see people getting tokens that for a price that, orders of magnitude less than it was ever sold publicly causes some anger, because that was really abused in the past
90x.
and present. Yeah, it's like 100x. Like, I think there's, and I think if you accept something like that, you got to be mindful of that, especially if you sort of build a brand as like a Bitcoin personality, like a few of these people do. You're going to be held to sort of an irrationally high standard, and that's what you signed up for. And I think that's what we love about conferences like this, is you meet all these people who see in Bitcoin like sort of the light at the end of the tunnel, to use Parker's phrase. And so, I don't think you can complain if you're held to a high standard. That's why we're here.
No, I completely agree. But are you really surprised that something like this is happening?
No.
No. Yeah.
My only response, people were like, you didn't have a response. I retweeted a tweet from December because we already knew INX was coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Alan on the podcast to talk about it like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember you did. I was not included in that episode.
We're going to crush you on Twitter. We're going to crush you this next week.
I'm a shill. Actually got part of the pre-sale too. Kidding.
What's the next topic, Marty?
Let's move along.
No. Next topic went a little underscored this week, but I wanted to bring it up. Obviously, I have. I'm a bit biased because I'm in this industry, but what the hell? Equinor is a publicly traded oil and gas company, and they are partnering with Crusoe Energy to mitigate flare in the Bakken with Bitcoin mining. So you have a publicly traded energy company this week come out and announce that they're using Bitcoin to help solve their environmental problems with flare mitigation. And obviously, I work for a company that does that. Great American Mining. And
when you see a lot of that this week, like, this is a fun thing about being in Texas, is that this is where you have some of the most sophisticated energy operators on the planet, and a few of them were here, and I'll be talking about Bitcoin wallets, and they're listening and not understanding everything, and then they start talking like basic hydrocarbon chemistry, and my eyes roll. So it's fun to see the interchange of these two groups, and there's a lot of people that seem hell bent on mining Bitcoin with excess gas.
We're hell bent on it,
yeah.
And so we've been doing a weekly webinar to try to educate the oil and gas industry about Bitcoin, particularly. It's foreign to a lot of oil and gas folks now, but the title of our webinar is Bitcoin and oil and gas, a symbiotic relationship. It's truly a symbiotic relationship in the fact that Bitcoin needs to have more distributed hash power geographically, and the opportunity that the waste gas situation in the U.S. provides to do that is great for Bitcoin. And then on top of that, Bitcoin solves a problem that the oil and gas industry has with this waste flare that is enormous, and they can both help each other out, the network and the industry, pretty intently. So it's exciting to see a publicly traded oil and gas company here in the United States come out and admit that they're mining Bitcoin on their fields. They don't want to hold the Bitcoin. They don't care about the Bitcoin. They just care about their flare mitigation. But Crusoe is happy to mine that Bitcoin.
That's the beautiful thing, is that they engage in this from a pure economic incentive. You don't need ideology.
Right.
It's gorgeous. I mean, this is where I come from with Bitcoin and Bitcoin privacy and privacy in general, right? I think these are tools that people will use when they need to. When they find the need to, they will use them and they will seek them out. And they will ignore the drama that happens, and they will try and seek out good information because they have a desire, because they have a need to. Mike, can you scroll this back to the price? Not that I'm in it for the tech, but if you could just
Are you going to make people
this.
market buy right now?
I feel like we should market stack. Can we?
There we go.
There we go. Is American Huddle in here?
Ooh, we've pumped like $100 since we started.
Yes, sir.
He hasn't even said hi to me.
What's up, Matt?
Pay attention.
He said pay attention. What are we paying attention to?
I don't know. He wasn't paying attention. Someone had to get his attention.
He's on Cash App. He's busy.
Last time we did a live stream, I told everyone to stack. It was the local top. So, you know, we ended up going down to 3,500. It was a long year. So if you want to stack, feel free to stack. If you don't,
You know what? We're going to switch it up this year. Everybody go sell a little bit of Bitcoin.
For what?
I love it.
For
Keep 'em
good
honest.
juju. It's for good juju. We're trying to change the luck here, all right? Not
Look,
that we
we're
need
up. We're going.
it. Yeah. YouTube is watching.
Moon dance. Stack.
Stack. Stack, and if you are stacking, make sure you're putting in personal custody this week. This week, a court in California ruled against the plaintiff who sued Coinbase for not awarding him or providing him with his Bitcoin Gold fork. I believe he had 350 Bitcoin on the exchange. He wanted access
Stupid man.
Very stupid. He wanted access to that Bitcoin Gold. Obviously, Coinbase did not provide that fork to their users. And the California court said, hey, not your keys, not your coins. Coinbase can do whatever the fuck they want with that. So,
But it is our audit.
it is, yes. That if you listen to Jeff Vandrew's talk earlier today, you do have to mark those at a cost basis when they do offer you those tokens, though. I believe if you don't touch the private key to actually access if it was Bitcoin Gold, you don't get.
That's the part I didn't understand. I thought you actually are supposed to declare it, like,
Even if you don't claim
if you
it?
could claim it.
No, I think. Jeff, if you don't claim it,
Jeff,
are you
go
liable?
Go to the microphone. Is there a microphone?
I don't know if they have one set up.
Do we have
need
a
like
question
we need
microphone?
like a
Just come up here
1-800.
and speak 3 inches from my mouth.
We need like 1-800 Vandrew. You know, the Bitcoin community. We can just dial Jeff, and he'll get us out of whatever dodgy.
Yeah, Mike is shaking his head. They don't have a microphone. Use Marty.
This is our first in-episode tax advice brought to you by Jeff Andrew.
This is not tax advice.
He is not a bodybuilder. He's not your bodybuilder.
He's not your bodybuilder.
Gary's coming with a microphone.
Gary's coming with a mic.
Let's give it up for Gary one more time.
Let's go over the things that happened to Gary. Gary had a hotel back out on him. He had
A hotel back out on him.
The hotel shut down.
the hotel shut down 2 weeks ago. That didn't stop Gary.
I don't know if it's on.
Jeff, now that you're on stage, you can't leave the stage. You're here for the rest of the episode.
You're talking to Don't pull it too hard.
Yo, poor Mike.
All right, we're gonna do this. This is now, this is awkward, but it's the best we're gonna do. So if Justin and I are now just gonna be one, we're literally Siamese twins here. I'm attached to Justin by his wiring. Yeah, so if you hold the keys, as soon as you have what's called dominion and control over the fork, meaning you could have claimed those coins, Justin was right. At that point, you have ordinary income at the amount of the fair market value at the time. So for most forks, that's going to be zero. Like most of these forks don't ever become marketable, and they just don't really have a fair market value. But for Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Gold, those had a fair market value, so you should have claimed ordinary income at that time. If you had your coins on Coinbase, you don't claim the ordinary income until Coinbase credits it to you, because you didn't have dominion and control over your coins until Coinbase decided to credit that. So in the case of Bitcoin Gold, you never had any income at all because you never got it if it was on Coinbase.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
There is, I should say, there is some level of debate. I think it's really, really weak. My opinion is the majority opinion, like it's not just mine. There are cases going back. All right.
These guys are a little rusty, I think, from no conferences for 6 months.
I like you just holding your mic now.
You look like Bob Barker.
Yeah.
What?
The survey says.
Today, what we've got going on over here. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Anyway, the California court ruled against a plaintiff who wanted to sue Coinbase. I guess if you don't get access to those coins via Coinbase, you don't have to pay taxes. If you just have them as private keys, you have to pay taxes. That's pretty fucked up.
Wait,
Yeah, well, the idea is you could have taken the action to grab those coins and sell them.
You could have, but what if you didn't even care to?
That opinion exists. It's out in the wild that you're throwing out there, but there are cases going back a very long time, not involving Bitcoin. It's what's called the Trevor Trove line of cases.
Who put that up
Where
there?
if you have
How much did Matt lose? His
Yeah, we have a
bet for
prompt on the
BitBlockBoom?
screen.
yeah,
Wait,
we're
wait.
getting questions.
Wait,
now.
no, Mike, what the fuck's going on over here? Is that your question? Okay, I lost 10 million sats, but it was worth it because I'm glad the
Who'd
conference
you bet
happened.
to 10 million sats with?
Two different people. I bet 2 million. I bet two people that this conference was going to get canceled because I didn't think Gary had the balls to do it. But I love you, Gary, and I'm glad it wasn't canceled. And I did buy it as soon I locked my price in. We were at like $9,000. I locked it in. I bought 10 million sats just to cover it. It's an expensive conference for me.
Honestly, hand up. I didn't think it was going to happen either. I booked my flight Thursday night.
But Marty was like I had my flight and my hotel booked a month ago, and Marty you kept ignoring my Telegram messages. You were being a little bit. But anyway, let's go back to this conversation. The fear I have, regardless of whatever your tax take is, the fear here is Coinbase decides which fork is real Bitcoin. Is my non-legal understanding of this case. So if there is a fork, let's say, Bitcoin regulatory.
Bitcoin with 2% inflation.
Or Bitcoin KYC, right?
Yeah.
Coinbase decides if that's the fork that you're on. They decide which chain you're on.
They did it with Ethereum.
Yeah, they did it with Ethereum. ETC is the original chain and just got 51% attacked for the third time.
7,000 blocks.
But they chose 4 people that ETH was going to go along with that fork, right? So trusted third parties are security holes. And it really doesn't matter what the court says because that's the case, right?
And those terms and conditions that you don't read, those matter in this case. And I assume that Coinbase's T&C covers this sort of thing, and not in your favor, right? Yeah. They're there to cover themselves.
Does not give a
But this
fuck
also is same with Cash App or whatever, who's a sponsor of the podcast. If you have your money there, I did the disclosure in the. If you have your money there, they can decide which fork is the real Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I trust that team to make a good decision.
Well, Marty trusts, but you should just withdraw your money so then you don't have to.
Withdraw. You can, if you freaks didn't know, you can send sats off the app into a personal wallet. One thing, staying on this subject, we didn't talk about this. I didn't see you tweet about it. I saw the Samurai crew tweeting about it. Apparently, there was a transaction made between exchanges that was FATF compliable.
Oh, I didn't see it. Compliant is the word you're looking for?
I was going to say compatible, and it turned into compliable.
I missed that.
You did miss that?
No.
Yeah.
It was an actual transaction on the blockchain that was somehow Financial Action Task Force compatible. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have
missed
not seen this.
Well, there's a working group that's Kraken, Coinbase, and a bunch of other exchanges that are trying to do FATFA travel rule compliance. where they know the sender and the receiver and they share that information amongst each other, which is a really slippery slope in terms of privacy, but is like kind of inevitable.
Yeah, this was in Switzerland.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Expect it. Should we open it up now?
Yeah, I mean, do we have a mic though that they can use for questions?
Yeah,
Mike?
Let's give him 15
We got
minutes.
a mic
Okay,
in the
we
back.
got a mic in the back. Can you guys line up in the
Y'all
back?
doing all
and,
right
like,
tonight? BitBlockBoom.
Gatling gun us with questions, please.
Dude's been drinking since 8 a.m.
Hi,
Quiet.
I have a question. So I think so if there is a fork and the value of the fork is valued at the time of like the first time there is a marketable value, I think there might be a way the Fed can attack Bitcoin. So they can create a fork, print $5 trillion, and make this fork like 5 times the value of Bitcoin. And then, you would have an income that is, 5 times your value of your Bitcoin. And like, you will, have to sell your Bitcoin to pay this income. So I'm curious to have your thought on this thought exercise.
I think I heard that. I'm just going to repeat that to make sure I heard that correctly. You were asking if there's like a tax attack using forks. Is that the case? Like someone can
No, so the Fed will create a fork.
The Fed creates a fork.
Yeah, the Fed will create a
creates
fork.
Classic
Yeah.
Fed.
And they will print, $5 trillion or whatever amount they will want to print. And therefore, this fork will be, 5 times the value of Bitcoin or 10 times the value of Bitcoin. At the time it's first, there is a first value for this coin. And if you follow the guideline, right, like you will have to pay tax on this new, fork of Bitcoin that is 10 times the value of Bitcoin. And then it means you will have to, sell your Bitcoin to pay this tax, right? I mean, curious to get your thoughts
they
on
could
this.
theoretically do that, but they could also just ban Bitcoin and make it illegal. And like, if you wanted to use Bitcoin, you'd be in the black market, right? And that would just be easier.
It would be way easier just to ban Bitcoin. And also, if they created $5 trillion on the fork and claimed that had some high enough fair market value that you would get taxed on it, they would also, in order to support that fair market value, have to allow you the ability to trade those coins for dollars at that rate. So that would be a great deal for you. I'd happily pay taxes on $5 million if you want to give me $5 million, right? So,
Well, what happens if it just immediately crashes? So
Well,
3 people get the $5 million rate, and then it goes.
That's what it would do, right? Because as soon as you make a liquid
well, I mean, what would they just offer that $5 million to the first person to claim it?
Yeah, they give it to like Lop, Samson, Ricardo.
Well, the issue then would be fair market value. Like if that was a fair market value the Fed was only going to honor for 1 or 2 claimants, then it's not a true fair market value.
Yeah, we get fought in court.
Exactly.
Is the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you'd have to have some kind of trust in our judicial system.
Exactly, right? and it would make the Fed look so bad and so arbitrary and so ridiculous that
They don't care.
It'd be so much easier just to ban Bitcoin.
Are you saying they don't look like that already?
To average people, absolutely they don't. Yeah, I mean, look at the stock market.
Right. Well, hasn't been brought up yet, but this week, Jerome Powell made a historic speech. They're going to keep targeting 2% inflation.
No, they were never. They were going to go past it now, right?
Yeah, they're going to try and go over it because they can't reach it. They're going to create price stability by raising prices. That's their mandate. It's very confusing.
Next question, Ben the Carmen.
What's up? I hate to do this to you, Matt, but I want to talk about the Wasabi vulnerability. But from the Wasabi's team's perspective, it's a feature, not a bug, because there's determinism for the UTXO selection. So that way, when you disconnect and you requeue up your coins, you're not revealing other UTXO links. And that was like the main point of why it was called silly and like an actual feature of the software, not a bug. I just want to make that clear.
But most people aren't disconnecting.
Like
The classic flow is to send in a large UTXO. See, this is what's frustrating, right? Because I have to argue about this with people who have never used either. I know you have. I'm not saying this to you,
No,
right?
you're good. You're good.
But like I had like a 19 tweet thread on how Samurai works, and Mr. Hoddle showed that he had never even tried to use it. He's just been talking shit and he has no idea how it works. And it's the same thing. I went on Block Digest and I had a discussion with No Power and Shinobi on Block Digest about it. And No Power had no idea how the fee structure worked. Just zero idea whatsoever, right? And so when I use Wasabi, I'm gonna dock some transactions here. I do the normal UX flow. You send in a large UTXO and it gets split up and you let it remix. That's what everyone does, is it not?
No, I agree.
So is it silly?
Well, the idea is so like, okay, say you send in like 0.2 Bitcoin, and you click them both to queue them up. It's gonna only queue up like one UTXO to mix, but you don't want to link multiple UTXOs together by mixing them together. And if you disconnect, like say your internet goes out for 5 minutes while you're waiting for a round, it might put like UTXO in A and B the first time, but the second time it'll do B and C, and now you unnecessarily linked like B and C together when you only really need to reveal A and B to do your mix.
So A, B, B, C. I can see that. I mean,
I like kind of lost it for a little bit.
I get it. The B is matching the A with the C, correct?
Yeah, like originally you only wanted to reveal A and B are linked, but since you disconnected and if you add randomness.
But no one's disconnecting.
Your internet might go out or like.
Oh, my internet's gonna go out?
Like during.
Why don't they build a disconnect into the fucking software?
No, like it's like a failsafe.
I think like if I have to, it makes my job harder as someone trying to shill these projects if I have to like list like all these things that you have to do. You know, like you have to disconnect your internet in between. You can't do this. You can't do that. Like the best practices should be relatively built in. And if it's not, like people are just gonna fuck up. Like there's no way that they're ever gonna figure it out, and they're just gonna dox all of their transactions, and it's gonna be on a ledger there forever. Because if we're right and Bitcoin succeeds, like this ledger is gonna fucking exist forever, and all that information is gonna be there, and that's what concerns me.
Speaking of which, was that you messing with Umbrel? Was that an Umbrel?
Yeah, I did Umbrel.
What?
I did Umbrel right before I left.
That looks like some of the best UX I've seen from a node perspective.
It's pretty slick. It's pretty slick.
Let's steelman it. Like, what's wrong with it?
Well, it just has no features yet. It's like really early.
Okay. But did you like the experience?
It's very slick.
It has like a plug-in architecture. That's the big thing, right? Like that you're going to be able to.
Well, they have no plugins yet.
Yeah, I know, but I mean the idea is they built out the architecture for that, right? Yeah.
It's very clean. It's a UX-friendly node implementation that is privacy-focused at the same time.
Were you able to open a Lightning channel before it fully synced? Is that what I was saying?
With Umbrel?
Yeah.
I haven't actually. I've just synced it.
Okay. All right.
I have on my desk. I have 4 Raspberries and 2 Noddles, and I just don't have enough time. I just don't have enough time today. I don't even know why I bother.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. We love you.
Yo.
Where's Vake?
I don't know where Vake is. Where's Vake? I don't know, but this is my question. All right, what's up, fellas? Okay, so this is mostly like towards Marty because when I had Matt on my podcast, like Shameless Shill, A Boy Named Sue, that's my podcast. If y'all give a fuck, if not, that's cool. But Marty, okay, so you had Christian Decker and his friend on from, they're working on L2 and shit. And then some point in that podcast, you turn around and you're like, Matthew! And so my question is like, did he pass out? Was he drooling? Like,
which podcast was this?
It was a few months ago. I don't really, but you had Christian Decker on and his friend.
He still doesn't know what episode it was. We never had Christian Decker on, did we?
We never had Christian Decker on.
Or okay, no. Whoever is working on L2, right? You had 2 guests on at once. And then at some point in that episode,
I think we had Matt Corallo on. And
This is next question.
No. Matt was not there.
I don't know.
Next question, I think.
Did you spill something on yourself?
No, I never was. I'm always like I'm
Next
in decent
question.
Form. I'm in decent form, right? Tell the freaks. Tell the freaks.
Decent form.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Fuck you, Phil. Next question.
All right, cool.
Is Matt really the founder of cuckmentality.com? This is
Well, go to cuckmentality.com. See where it takes you.
All right, so I have TFTC to thank for introducing me to Clark Moody's dashboard. It's the best. But typically y'all say, oh, this is the Grayscale Premium. Y'all didn't do that this week. Why?
Why do you trade the Grayscale Premium?
No, I'm asking why do y'all announce it and you didn't this week?
Oh, the Grayscale Premium's not on the dashboard anymore.
Oh, why was that?
I think their data feed stopped.
It's my fault.
It is?
No, Marty cares about it. I don't really give a shit.
No, I pulled it up one day and it was like negative 100%, and so I tagged American Hot. I was like, hey, it's free money. Go get it, you know.
Oh, so if you try and build a site that tracks prices and you try and track like actual stock prices, it's actually very difficult. And like one of the things that's really cool about Bitcoin is starting with Gox, which was a horrible exchange, they had an open API. So all the other exchanges ended up having an open API. So it's actually really easy to build a website that tracks Bitcoin prices from many exchanges, and it's really difficult to track historical stock prices. It's fucking crazy. Even like gold, oil, all of these things, it's like the APIs is very difficult. It's all behind paywalls, all over the place.
Love you guys. Love the pod.
Thank you. No, and to speak to the GBTC Premium, why you pay attention? I think it's just a good gauge of institutional. The
institutional money's coming.
Yeah, I guess for the time being, right?
Yeah.
Until there are better options.
Yeah, MicroStrategy is a better option now. It's a quasi ETF.
What's up, guys? Love
Do you like Samurai by chance?
Maybe not. Anyway, I work on Ronin Dojo. I'm a developer for that. And thank you.
Not only do you like it, you were contributing. Thank you.
But I want to say, Matt, I think you're doing a great job explaining that there are user errors that people are prone to in this stuff, especially with Wasabi. And I'm not just going to come to sling mud on that. I think that in general, this whole debate, this whole flame war that we see can actually help improve privacy. And privacy is not something that is something to be taken lightly. When Wasabi fucks up, when Samurai fucks up, people go to jail. And it's not, you know, as much as we want to keep the debate level-headed here, whenever you're talking about implications like that, it's just really hard to. So whenever you have something like the Plus Token guys getting hemmed up and now they're all sitting in jail because they didn't use the, you know, their CoinJoin implementation right, the one that they chose, you know, that for me says everything.
Yeah.
And this is something I feel. Like this is why we front load our disclosures. When we shill a product, when we shill a project and we tell users how to use it and there's a vulnerability, like it hits me, like when that vulnerability happens, and like it hurts, right? It like
almost feel a
absolutely
little
hurts.
responsible,
And I turned
right,
to
for telling
Marty,
people.
and we're just like, we got to do it. You got to put it right in the front. You got to tell the users, you know, like we told you this thing. We were wrong about that, and this is what the reality is, right? And like you just have to fucking own it, because what matters, right? Like what are we doing here? What's the whole point of everything we do?
Yeah, I agree. I do think the Plus Token people should be in jail, though.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and there's more than that in jail, and I don't want to go into
No, I
it, but
agree.
you know, whenever we're talking about the implications of you know what can go wrong with the CoinJoin implementation, you know, without being critical of other teams or anything, you know, I just want to say what's at stake here, and that's why we're taking these debates so seriously.
No, yeah, and that's why I said I think this actually makes everybody stronger in the long run. It's a bit tiresome at times, but iron sharpens iron. It'll get better. And I mean, hopefully this is why we should push for things like BIP Taproot. You create the primitives buzzword, to make privacy more innate in the protocol. So I think it's gotten better over time, demonstrably better, the ability to attain privacy at the protocol
It's only
level.
going to get better. We'll reduce the things that cause user error, and that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah. You just need to build systems to make it hard for users to create errors.
And just cheers to the new Ronin Dojo UI that's coming out. I'm really excited for it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Next question.
First of all, thanks you guys for everything you do. Appreciate it. Love the podcast. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
Second thing, privacy is a major topic on this podcast. Just wanted to hear your opinion on, after doing a coin join, is there any value to swapping those UTXOs for like a privacy coin like Monero, then swapping back to Bitcoin, and the practicality of that? Is it worth it? Just your opinion on that.
I've never done it personally. That's Monero Shill's main marketing ploy. Shum. Not even Shum. They're saying Monero's the best second layer to Bitcoin for privacy that exists.
I mean,
Atomic swaps.
I kind of view Monero as like an
ugly cousin.
It's a coin join. It's a mixer with a worthless utility token attached to it. But like a utility token that's going to trend to zero. Look, when you cross chain, obviously you increase your privacy guarantees unless you just do coin join. If you do coin join plus a swap, then you're all things equal, you're increasing your privacy guarantees. It is a taxable event. Your mileage may vary. Thank you for asking me that question at a Bitcoin conference and putting me on the spot. So appreciate that.
Perry.
Hey, Jeff. Two-part question, kind of. Fair market value, what's like the magic threshold? I mean, if Bitcoin Gold's listed on one exchange, then it's got a fair market value? I feel like you touched on that a little bit earlier. And then the second part, if you're getting Bitcoin for services, who's the IRS looking to for your cost basis? I know they're probably going to put the onus on you, but who are you supposed to look to? Like what exchange? I mean,
for fair market value, any reasonable method is acceptable as long as you're consistent. So if you're using one of the indices online that aggregates an average across various exchanges, that's fine. If you're using just one of the larger exchanges in terms of their value that lists the coin, that's fine. It's any reasonable, consistent method.
I'm telling you, the best way to do this is use BTC Pay Server. You just download the CSV, give it to your
That is really nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I did my taxes this year and handed them the BTC Pay Server CSV file, and it was very easy.
Well, Jeff, my question was kind of more, what is the magic threshold from when you have a fair market value versus when you don't?
Oh, I mean, that's
like something that doesn't ever have a fair market value.
It's a fairly subjective standard, but it's sort of like the Supreme Court's definition of pornography. You kind of know it when you see it.
Do you?
If something's trading,
Sorry.
Or not. Yeah.
Continue.
Marty has strong opinions on pornography.
Stop watching porn.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, if it's trading on a major exchange and there's any sort of reasonable volume, then it's got a fair market value. If it's trading on an exchange with little to no volume, or it's not trading on a quote unquote one of the major US exchanges, then I'd be comfortable claiming on a return typically that has zero fair market value and zero. I will tell you that personally, I'll dox myself on this, it's fine. People know where to find me anyway. I've only ever, holding Bitcoin, I've only ever claimed Bcash and Bitcoin Gold. I've never bothered with any of the other forks as having a fair market value.
Bitcoin Rhodium?
I don't even know what that is.
What about Bitcoin 2Gen? Steven Seagal's.
Not familiar, haven't followed it.
Before we get to the next question, Justin, what was it like driving up here with Parker Lewis?
So if you guys are ever in a car with Parker Lewis, this is what you do. You have him maybe get comfortable, put some country music on or something. Just start talking about sports or something, and then mention I was watching CNBC and this guy Jerome Powell, I don't know if you heard of him, got on and gave a speech. And then you just stop talking for 3.5 hours. And it's like a master's degree in how the dollar works and everything. And I forget it as soon as I get out of the car. It's like his truck is like this magic zone where you understand monetary economics. But as soon as you get out, it's gone.
You just remember how it made you feel.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my Twitter mutuals has a saying that is, women are passionate about social justice. It's sort of a catch-all response to many things on Twitter. You could kind of flip that around and say Parker Lewis is passionate about the Federal Reserve.
This is true.
Yeah.
It's a good passion. We need more passionate people like Parker. Parker put out, I think, his best piece to date this week. Bitcoin is one for all. I thought that was the best first principle piece that you put out to date. Congratulations, certainly. You want to check it out. Disclaimer: Unchained Capital is a sponsor of the podcast. Kevin.
Yo. Yeah, I think I'm the last question for the night. So I was just wondering, I saw Marty in the back all day today. Just down the line, what was everybody's favorite talk from today for your viewers that want to know what they should look at on YouTube?
I thought Jeff's was the most actionable. Very good advice.
Yeah.
I like Jimmy's talk about how Bitcoin is an extension of natural law theory. Again, Unchained Capital is a sponsor of the pod, but I really like Parker's talk as well. And
I like Britt's talk because I think a lot of people, BTC Pay is becoming more and more accessible, and it's something that more and more people should try.
I mean,
and I was going to say, this is Britt's first U.S. Bitcoin conference.
Shout out to Britt. I mean, honestly, we've said it on this podcast many times before. As a user, BTC Pay Server is one of the best products out there. Like, it is one of the most important products out there. If you're just a merchant who wants to accept Bitcoin as payment, they make it as easy as possible.
It's weird because it's like this open source project that you don't pay for, and you feel bad you don't pay for it, and you get into their support channel, and it's like you have better service than you do at your bank. Right? It's unbelievable. Yeah, these like
better than Coinbase.
Unpaid volunteers with like weird handles answer all your questions.
While we're on this, Rockstar Dev. So we've been doing the BTC Pay server. Stay humble.
We're getting the weirdest messages.
We're getting
here.
weird
There's
messages up here. We've been told to announce
I feel like
that.
you guys remember the show Ghostwriter on PBS? This is what like looking at the screen is like.
Someone told me that Britt
Rockstar
almost
Dev.
slept through her speaking spot out late last night.
Okay. Britt was out late last night. Apparently a lot of people were out
Cheers.
late. But we've been doing the BTC Pay server Stay Humble hats, donating 25% to BTC Pay. The way Rockstar Dev wanted to do that was to give away hats at this conference, but he didn't show up, and the hats haven't showed up yet either. So we will.
They're getting shipped to Gary's house.
Yeah, Gary, you're
because
getting a
Marty
bunch of hats
decided
shipped
that
to your
was
house.
the best idea.
We're going to have to have
we
you
need
ship them somewhere else.
We're going to need to reship them.
Yeah, we'll pay for it.
We'll make it happen. We'll have OpenNode pay for it. Just for goodwill. Just for goodwill. To the community, they have to pay for it.
I think we have about like eight minutes left. 9:20.
What are we going to talk about? We have no more questions.
No,
Don't
I
give him the mic.
think we can.
Yes, we have questions.
Oh, not this guy. Oh no.
Go for it.
We have
What a Ben.
Someone prop him up. Prop him up.
You guys aren't getting away with this.
This might
without
get a
any
little wild
questions.
now.
What we are concerned about is, I don't know, what are we concerned about, guys? Where we want to know what your actionable steps are and what are you doing to make the community a better place. That's what we want to know.
There is no community. There are only individuals.
There's a community. Fuck you. What the fuck is this?
We've got 10 to 15 minutes if we want. No, that's actually what I was going to lean into is I think we should reflect on how cool it is that a bunch of like-minded individuals can meet in Dallas, Texas when it's
check one.
arguably
Hey,
socially
folks.
unacceptable to do so.
Hey, y'all, can I have y'all's attention right quick? We got a lighter that came in a leather case. Anybody would like to claim it or get a new lighter, it's going to be over here. Anyways, I digress. Back to y'all, folks.
Kurt Bile joined us this weekend by everybody.
I know what I want to do. Parker, bring me the shit I'm auctioning. We're auctioning this.
We're auctioning off a
for BTC Pay server, right?
Yes.
This is the first time I've ever been asked to autograph anything in my life.
Congratulations.
Jeff Vanders' autograph's going out. It's a picture of him bodybuilding in the 90s.
You can. you're gonna be able to fake checks if you get this because that's an outdated system of payment. Who do we have? Chris Dannon. We need you to sign this. Little Bitcoin book. Limited edition hard copy. PGP signed by Jimmy. Awesome. For BTC Pay server.
We got one more question, y'all.
So yesterday we auctioned. Wait, what was that question?
Oh, go ahead. It's cool.
Oh, well, we're not going to talk about that. Okay.
Told my in-laws, I don't care, I'm going anyway.
Okay, so this is a picture of Bitcoin Sign Guy, our good friend, who got behind Janet Yellen.
He's an Urbitter now.
What?
He's an Urbic winner now.
Yeah, I mean Urbit's a shitcoin. And so we have this nice visualization of it, and it's signed by a lot of people on the back, except for Chris Dannon, which I don't know where he is. So, but we have a lot of signatures on here, and then we also have this little Bitcoin book by Jimmy Song, who spoke earlier, and Parker's walking up to me like I've said something wrong, and we're going to auction these off for charity because I was able to auction off a cutting board for 60 million sats yesterday, which was impressive. It was very impressive. You didn't buy it.
I bid though.
You didn't buy it though. You got outbid. It was low, but you didn't outbid him. So what's going on here, Parker?
So
I did like 5 calls for a rebid there, and you didn't even bid, and you're saying it's low.
You also went backwards a couple times. The bid was going up and then
Right.
back down.
Well, no, because I got excited.
Yeah, you did.
I get excited.
You did. Leave Parker alone.
if you want to win tonight, you got to call individuals out.
I gotta call individuals out.
Yeah, like,
Is that why you came up here?
Yeah. No, everybody who's spoken today has signed.
Oh, every single person who's spoken today has signed. That was a better explanation than what I said. I said people signed. But yeah, every person who's spoken today, except for Chris Dannon, has signed this, and we will make sure Chris signs this.
Or we
he's
start
not
the
a
bidding.
Bitcoiner. Yeah.
Tell people not to hodl tonight.
Not to hodl?
Not tonight.
Don't hodl on this. Buy this. Okay.
Well, let's tell them why they should buy it. It's going to a very good project, one we've talked about already tonight, BTC Pay Server. It is open source. Like Justin and I were talking about earlier, it is incredible that you're just able to download it and use it. The value that you accrue from BTC Pay Server is way above and beyond what you pay, which is nothing.
Okay. So let's get started. We're going to start with... which one should we start with, Marty?
I thought they were going together.
No, separate.
All right, we'll start with the Little Book of Bitcoin, starting at 5 million sats. So we have 5 million sats out there.
5 million sats for BTC Pay Server Little Bitcoin book. Do we have 5 million sats?
PGP signed.
Come on, guys, you fucking bitches. Let's go.
5
million sats. Do we have 6 million sats? 6 million sats for Little Bitcoin book signed, PGP signed by Jimmy Song himself. Do we have this? 6 million sats. Come on. Come on. We got 6 million sats. Do we have 7 million sats for a Little Bitcoin book by Jimmy Song? I don't know why I checked that. I already knew what it was. Do we have it? 7 million sats. Do we have 8 million sats? This is going to BTC Pay Server, one of the most important projects in the space. You have to look Brick Kelly in the face. We have 8 million sats. Do we have 9 million sats? 9 million sats for the Little Bitcoin book. 9 million sats. Do we have 10 million sats?
Rockstar Dev is going to send a picture of his nipple,
Like
too.
Rockstar is going to look you in the face. He's going to be like, you sat in this room and you did not bid 10 million sats for this book. Are you going to do that? Phil, are you going to do that? 10 million sats. Let's go. Let's go. 11 million sats. 11 million sats. Do I have 11 million sats for the Little Bitcoin book? You want to call someone out? Little Bitcoin book. Do we have 11 million
If you guys don't bid, Matt is going to start roasting people.
Am I going to do that?
Yeah.
11 million sats. Do we have 11 million sats? BTC Pay Server, best project in the space. 11 million sats. 12 million sats. American HODL, you fucking little bitch. Are you going to bet? You're going to bid on this? 12 million sats. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Do we have it? We don't know where he is? 12 million sats. Let's go. There we go, Ben. Thank you. 12
Jimmy,
million
are you willing
sats.
to bet for your own book?
13 million sats for Jimmy's songs. Well, he did this with other people.
Alex
He did this with other
Gladstein,
people, yeah.
I believe
Yeah, you're
Elena.
right. Who else did they do it with? Jimmy, who else did you do this with?
Alejandro Machado might be in it.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
Machado, yeah. Okay, a lot of people did this. We're at 14 million sats now, right?
14 mil.
14 million sats.
Mike, can we
for
go back to the
BTC Pay
dashboard?
server. BTC Pay server. Most important project in the space. You're going to have to look at Brick Kelly. 20 million fucking sats. Let's go. Okay.
That's an oil man right there.
Let's be honest. You're all bitches, and no one's going to bid 21 million sats, right? It's like no one going to do that. Like we're not. Like there's no way. There's no way.
Now, Parker's the
21
last
million
bid.
sats. Do we have 21 million sats? 21 million sats for this little Bitcoin book, which is actually really big on knowledge. It's like got a lot of shit in it. You know, it's like there's chapters. It's all about Bitcoin, PGP sign.
It's full of words.
Yep. 21 million sats. 21 million sats. Who's gonna top this for BTC Pay server? No one's gonna top this because you're all bitches. And we are sold at 20 million sats.
To Parker Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Okay. And now we have a cheaper option for the people who felt, I have to bring it over? And we're going to walk through the crowd to bring this
part of what was bid on
prize
was a visit
over
to your
here
table from Matt Odell.
To this beautiful winner. Do we know where he sends the sats? Where do you send the sats? Parker, where does he send the sats?
This is turning into a Tony Robbins event. He's in the crowd.
Is he sending it to BTC Pay server?
Let's get a firewalk.
He's buying them right now, guys. He's stacking.
Let's get a firewalk
He's stacking.
from Matt here. That's what we need.
I have no
Send
idea where
Bitcoin
he's
to
supposed to send them.
13K.
The trust falls start in 5
There we go.
minutes.
You bought
Line
them.
up.
Now you have to send them. You're going to make sure he sends them. Parker's...
Go and show this to people in the crowd.
Parker's going to enforce this, guys. It's important. It's important. Look at this. Look at this.
He's selling you an airline credit card right now.
Every person who has spoken today has signed this.
Who wants to join Matt's downline?
And it's going to BTC Pay server. This is a thank you for Star9 Labs.
All you
Thank
need to do
Gary.
is get 3 more people
this
in.
is
all right?
this is going to BTC Pay server. Do you guys have a heart? Are you going to do a big thing today? Are you going to make this worth it? Are you going to be bigger than yourself?
This is a combination
while
of
still
Tony
staying
Robbins
humble.
and Amway.
1 million sats. Let's go. Cheap bid. You get credit. Zach gets credit. 2 million sats. Let's go. 2 million sats. We got 2 million sats to Will Cole over there. Do we have 3 million sats? 3 million sats over there. 4 million sats for this gorgeous fucking thing. 4 million sats to BitVault
We got
over
5
there.
over
5
here.
million sats. Do we have 5 million sats? You're going to outbid yourself. 5 million sats. 6 million sats? 10. 10 million sats to Uncle Zach over here. Do we have 11 million sats? Do you have 11 million sats? By
in
the
the
way,
back, 11 in the back, 11 in the back.
11 in the back. Zach, are you going to take that? 12 million sats. You're going to let him take that from you? You're going to let him take that from you? This is huge. This is huge. 12 million sats. Let's go. 13 million sats. It comes with an embassy. Let's go. That's a fucking 2 million sat value right there. 15 million sats. Let's go. 15 million sats.
We're going to up the
16 million
stakes
sats.
here.
Do we have 16 million sats?
Oh, he's back for more. We got
16 million sats. He's still here. Okay, 17 million sats. Let's go.
Wait, before we go higher, we're going to up the stakes here. I'm going to reach out to Bitcoin Sign Guy and make sure he does a half-hour Zoom call with you if you win this.
What, you really?
He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He'll listen.
He's going to try his best. We're like 95%.
30 minutes with one of the most
He
interesting
might
humans in the
show you
world.
Urbit, and it might not be worth it. Okay?
You are now bidding
What
on
are we
Marty
at?
trying his
17
best.
million sats?
17 mil.
17 million sats. Marty distracted me. Who's the man here? Let's go. 18 million sats or lady. Free ticket next year. That's a 5 million sat value. Let's go. What do you? 20 million sats for Jabari. Let's go. Do we have 21 million sats? This is huge. This is going to be big, guys. Like, it's going to be a big deal. You get a Star9 Labs. Embassy,
You're going to get,
what?
wait.
21 million to Dan.
We're going to
Let's
add
go.
more to it. We're going to get Bitcoin Sign Guy himself to sign it. We will get it to him in
Well,
one.
obviously. We'll try. 21 million sats. 21 million sats. Do we have 21 million sats?
Where does
We can break
confidence
the
go?
record for a bid. We can break the record for a bid. Do we have 21 million sats? Come on, guys. What is this, like a room full of Ethereum? Aren't you the top bid?
Jimmy's not here, Mike.
22 to Jabari. Let's go. 22. Dan, you going to let him take it from you? You going to let him take it from you?
22.5. 22.5.
No. He's not allowed to do that. 23 million sats? 23 million sats. Do you take it? Let's go. Come on. What are you just going to stand there? 23 million sats. Let's go.
From the country lawyer.
Do we have 24 million sats? Anyone? Bueller? What is that? They're going to engrave that. That's an extra million sats. Value. Tour of Gary's house with a pool.
Go to Gary's pool?
Gary, can they skinny dip? You can skinny dip in Gary's pool. That's like a 3 million sat valuation. Do we have 22 million sats? Do we have 22 million sats? Come on, guys. Come on. You're going to make me. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's.
You don't have to ask.
Yeah, that's actually implied. He doesn't wear shirts anymore.
You can't ask the question and not do it, Phil. Okay, guys, the account you want to unfollow on Twitter is Phil Geiger. Okay? 23 million sats. Do we have 23 million sats? No one. I don't think it's going to happen.
We got it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think you're at 23, right? So you're at 24 now.
This, we have to give it
25.
Up.
What?
You're bending this thing. You gotta keep it straight.
Well, we'll do another one. What? 25 million sats. 25 million sats. No one's gonna bid this. We struggled for the 24. 25 million sats. Will anyone bid this? It is more expensive than the cutting board. It's more expensive than a little Bitcoin book, but it will be so valuable. It's gonna be so valuable in the future. You can fake every single person's checks if you get this. If you get this, you can.
We don't use checks.
You just cut checks for every person on this list, and most of them are doing pretty well, except for Marty. 25 million sats. Do I have 25 million sats? Going 3.
That was good.
2, 1. Sold to Jabari. Thank you, Jabari, for BTC Base service. Thank you.
23 million sats at BTC Pay
No,
server.
I think that was
Taken back
24.
to Kingston, Jamaica.
That was 24.
Going back to Jamaica. 24 million sats.
Recorded.
Didn't think we would get that high. It's going towards a good cause. That was a live rip. Does anybody have any? Apparently there was a big question on here earlier. I don't know if that was from earlier, Mike, or.
We have someone with a mic over there.
Somebody have a mic back there?
He went away.
He went away. All right.
Thank you for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
We love you all.
Guys, been a hell of a week. Shout out to Texas. Big fan of Texas. I only come down here for this conference. It's hot as balls down here, but it's worth it. End of August conference in Dallas is interesting timing, but we're all here. We're all here. Yeah, I guess that's all we got this week, freaks. We got a semi-black tie event. There's only one dirtbag, scumbag, weirdo. My mom told me not to hang out near him, but he's here in a tux for some reason. And
I don't think he's ever been in the sun ever in his life.
There's going to be a 10-minute break before the awards, just so everybody's
So we're going to do some awards. Just warning you, wait, this is a very important warning.
Shut the fuck up.
Do not come near Dirtbag Al. He touches people weird spots. All right.
Stay humble, stack fucking sacks.
Peace and love, freaks.